Hello everyone, it's Kay here. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm going to be joining in with Roxy's weekly challenge again, and I'm going to do the week 4 one, which was a floating hinge pockets, but then she said it was a swinging pocket. So I've not made one of these before, and I just had a bit of a go before. She showed us 2 kinds, so this is the first kind, and what they do is you put it over your page like that, so you just glue that side and that side down, and then that sort of becomes a bit of a tuck spot. And then you've got this pocket. Oh, I've got it the wrong way, haven't I? Sorry, that way. Yeah, and then you've got this pocket at the top that you could use. And then if you wanted to, you could actually create just glue on that side and just create this as a pocket, glue the top of that down there and create a pocket behind as well. So that's a long one, and then this one here's a shorter one with just a simple hinge, and it just goes over the page like that, and you glue that bit down, and then that you've got the pocket here. Do we want to glue it over? No, because it's supposed to be swinging. You're supposed to let it go. It's supposed to be swinging. Yes, you don't really need to glue it down. Sorry, it's supposed to be swinging free. So I'm going to be making one of those today. So I've got a piece of A4 paper from a collection that I bought from Spotlight, and the idea being that you just fold a little bit of the paper up here for the hinge. So they go over the page. Actually, no, it doesn't lift it, but it doesn't go over the page at all. It just keeps it nice and tidy, and then you fold it up a little bit like that. Maybe a bit less. Doesn't want to be too big, because that's the bit that sort of goes over the edge. And then you take it up and then fold this other side down to this edge here, and that's the bit you glue this bit and this bit down, and then glue this bit down here too. So I'm going to do that first, using an old telephone directory here, because we don't actually use a telephone directory anymore, and it gets given to us free, so it's very useful for gluing things, and I always forget to get it out. So hopefully I remembered to do it this time. I'll glue already on the page. I've turned it over already, and I'm going to I've forgotten how I did that now. Sorry, looking at my cheat sheet here. Yeah, that was glued down. Rachel just used her liquid glue here, so that just for a narrow glue spot, rather than using the glue stick, because sometimes that creates a bit of a wider glued spot down. So you might not really want to have that much glue glued down. Oh. Try the right way around, Kay. Whoops. So it goes down there like that. And then she uses a smaller notch than I'm using. I'm using a bigger notch because I don't have anything smaller than this really. It's just a notch there. And put the notch down the bottom here, so it depends on which way round really, it doesn't matter I suppose. And a notch there, and then that goes round the page like I showed you. And so that's that part, because it's round the page you won't actually see that, so it swings. So I'm assuming you want to keep it, glue goes down there when you want to glue it on. You glue this bit down, and maybe where the hinge is down here, sorry, where the hinge is here. so it stays down. So I've got an image here to decorate. I'm just going to show you one today because it takes me a lot longer than does Rachel to do something like this. So I've got because the pattern is a bit sort of retro-ish, I'm going to use a retro image from a book, children's book that I've got. Maybe a bit more. Use a bit of text just to sort of balance it out a little bit. Just a little bit maybe there. So cut off that bit there. Try the right pair of scissors. That's my fussy cutting scissors I keep using. And you could use something else behind that as well, like a bit of doily, which I also forgot to get out. Oh no, there they are. Thought I had some out. So you could actually wrap it around the edge of your pocket, I suppose. So it sort of becomes a bit of a, which way around do I want it? So could wrap it around like that. So it becomes part of that page as well, that side as well. That would work. I've got a little teddy bear to go with the doll. Didn't cut it back. It used to be the doll with the teddy bear was actually up here. Maybe I should just leave it there. But I felt that it didn't really sort of look right. I wanted to have the teddy bear down here. Join the doll. Don't know now. I think that's, yeah, I'll just leave it back there where it was supposed to be. And I'm just going to stick those down because, and then you could put some other things on top. Because I want to show you something else that Rachel shared us for week 5, which was scrap busting, narrow collage, stamp tacks. So hopefully we'll get around to doing that too. It possibly is it's a much better idea to sort of make a whole heap of these at once and then perhaps just decorate them afterwards for the journal that you're making. That probably would work really well if you did it that way. I'm just making one at the moment, and I chose this because I just thought it would be something a little bit different, this colour. I probably would like to sort of make a bit of a poppy sort of journal lately. Hope you're all doing well, and you know, I was listening to somebody yesterday and talking about how many people that are doing crafting because of their you know, to help their mental health, and I think it is really good for that, and I certainly know that it helps me, and I'm really grateful for all of my support that I get, and I just feel quite touched with the generosity of people in the community, of any, you know, the craft, card making, junk journaling, whatever your crafting thing is. People tend to be really generous and kind and nice and very supportive of each other, and I think that's wonderful. And I thank everybody that tunes into my channel and watches what I share, and I'm just really grateful for you for doing that. I don't know if I want to do too much decoration because I'm not too sure how long the other activity was. We might put to one side, and if I have time I'll come back and do a little bit more decoration. Just perhaps need something across the top, perhaps some lace, or just need something. some trim maybe. But again, if you don't, if you just leave it like that, that would be, you could just adapt it to the journal that you're making. So that's that one. And with the other one, which was the scrap busting, Rachel actually took a piece of paper and collaged. Well, I've been doing some collaging in this book that I picked up when I went on holiday, putting like things together, and I'm going to be using that today because I just felt that that was something that I could use. The reason I chose this magazine is because it's actually quite thick and I think it will look really good. Rachel's said to try and use as neutral as possible because that's when it works, the stamping works better. So I did actually find one that was quite neutral because some of them are not that neutral at all. That was the one, yes, this one. And then the back could be, you could use the back for the plain paper, and that you could use, just use it like that. Rachel, I'm going to use a ruler, if I can remember where I put it. There it is. I'm just going to do some tags here. How wide are they going to be? Let's have a look. 2 inches maybe. I think that would work well. I wonder if it'll rip. Probably not. So I'll draw a line. And just cut it out. I could use my trimmer, but the line is fine. Do a couple. These are really good for those narrow pockets, or as little in the tuck spots, or they can be added maybe to larger tags, I think, just to create some focal points. How big do I want them to be? Let's have a look. Do I want them too long? 4, 3, 4. Let's make them 4. 4. That's going to be a short one, that's all right. Whoops. Just stick that down a bit more. Got 3 there. Those ones over there. Just need to stick this down a bit more. I think sometimes when I make these collages, the glue dries really quickly because it gets a bit warm in here. So got some stamps here now. I'll use those. Rachel used some digital papers for the backs of hers. I don't have a lot of digital papers. I tend to use scrapbooking collections for my junk journals, and then whatever I don't use for them, I make them into cards. So I don't really necessarily have a lot of scraps left over. Just these little bits of the papers that I use. That's all. So then she did some stamping. Then Rachel did some stamping, and the other day when I was doing her challenge, I just kept on calling her Roxy, which is really bad of me. I think it's because I was tired that day. I think I'd only had half an hour sleep the night before. Very rude of me. So I've got some stamps here. I've got different stamps there, and I've got these stamps here. Just going to do some floral ones, these different stamps. That's all I want to do, actually, those ones. Perhaps I could use this again for stamping on, so I apologise. Perhaps I should do it on a plain background so you can see a bit better. Sorry, I'm covering up your face here, sorry. tidy that up a little bit. Do I want to make any tag shapes already? Why not? So cover that, cut that there. And, oops. Actually, do that side as well. Okay, and then I'll do some stamping. I've got some, do I want some text on the background? I've got, this is from Uniquely Creative too. This is a words for scrapbooking, but they really, they're like they say, oh, there's a bit of plain paper, sorry. They say photograph, memory, dream, grateful, wonderful, remember. So I think they work just as well for journaling. So I'm just going to use the edge here of that particular stamp. And I'm going to just do a little bit of stamping there. And maybe here. Then I'm going to use one of these flowers. I got this particular stamp came in a packet. Those ones came in a packet from Kmart, and they work really well. I'm so impressed. We could do two, really. I think that works well, and then you could actually put a bit of a label here as well. I've got some labels. Where did I do my, what did I do with my label folder? It was all the way over there. Of course it would be. Just do a little bit of stamping for the moment, and then we'll just go back and do some labeling. That's a nice stamp. I quite like that one. And maybe this is a poppy stamp. This one. So I'm really feeling quite chuffed because I've just sold 2 journals in 2 days, which was really lovely. Through my Etsy shop, so I'm really happy about that. Alright, excuse me a minute, I'm just going to get my label folder. Alright, let's have a look. Here's my other one. Just put that down so the glare's not in your face. Just do these. I haven't done them into tags yet, so I could just do that behind and measure them up that way. And this one, I think Rachel actually kept them square, so I might actually keep that one square, like a clothing tag, which is the with the square top, and I probably should have just left that one alone. Looks a bit fat, doesn't it, really? Because it's a skinnier one than the other ones. That's right, I'll do leave that one. I probably should have just left that one flat, like a clothing tag. Just leave those flat and keep that one. Let's do that. Alright, so we've got some various ephemera things here. What should we use? Got some field notes here, that would work well, I think, from Tim Holtz field note stamps. I like to do a bit of stamping in advance so that I've got things to use. So I've got some labels from Which Craft Do You Do, from the Bits and Pieces kit as well, that I could use. Let's have a look at my field notes ones. Yeah, quite like that. So I'm sticking that one down. Oh. Don't want to do it on the mat because it's not clean. Oh. So I'm going out to lunch today with a friend, which is really nice. Catch up with her. She's moved into a new house recently, so I haven't been to see her new house yet, but it's always good to have let them sort of settle in and unpack and work out what you want and what you don't want, because they've just downsized to a smaller block. Right, do I want any washi tape, or do I want to just keep it plain and maybe just do some inking? So I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do for the back, whether I'll just use another bit of paper or I will use, I've got lots of clothing labels I could use. Could you do that? And you could just use the corner of that, because it's a bit bare here. Or I could just use a different stamp. And where's my other one that I had? These ones here. These decorative stamps. This person was selling all these stamps as a thing, all together. And I wasn't sure whether I'll be able to use these, but oh, they're so wrapped. I can tell I haven't really used these. I've got plastic on them galore. Oh, sticking to my fingers. Sorry. Pull it off and use, for those people who don't know, for new acrylic stamps you need to use a permanent ink to start off with, because if you use a distress ink like one of those, it just, because it's water based, it doesn't work as well. So you need to use a permanent one to start off with, and then you can, once you've, what's the word they use it? Prove it. I think the word is prove it. Then you can use any other colour you like, but you need to use the permanent one first, if you didn't know that already. So it's going to need, I think that doesn't really need really much more. Do I want to put some on that side? No, I'm a bit reluctant to do that, but I could just maybe use this word stamp. Just very lightly, because I don't want to do it too much. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, quite like that. So that's one. And this one doesn't really need a lot of things, so I think that maybe for this one I might, what shall I use? One of these labels from Witchcraft Do You Do? Do that across like that. I support Witchcraft Do You Do because it's a company based in Australia. I think so, because, or are they from New Zealand? I think, because they have a couple of people, Kerry and Rachel, have New Zealand accents, so I'm never really sure where they are, but all I know is they are down this part of the world. It's always good to support companies, you know, from the southern hemisphere, because keep them afloat, because we're not a big audience, but quite like that one. And just do the small one. So just use the other end of that. No, it doesn't really go. I'll put that for another day. Put it back where I got it from. I want to use this one, the big one. No, doesn't really go either. I don't like that one either. This one here. This one, I reckon that one goes. So my ephemera file holder I made myself. Just kept the cover of a photograph album and just used, because I've used paper for pockets, I've used vellum for pockets, I've used whatever I had really. Works well. I didn't stitch because I don't have my little machine that I had that was a dinky machine from Aldi finally died, so just need something there. What shall I put there? It needs a strip of something. Whether I don't want another flower, maybe another number or a word. Word maybe. Just use the word specimen. I think I need to get some words. Don't have very many words. Yeah, that goes. Oops. I'll put that way around. So I've got the 3 for the scrap busting. And like, because I've been putting my scraps, I didn't show you how to do the collaging today, and I'm sure you all really know how to do that. It's just a matter of putting paper down on other paper, like this, just putting it all down, putting like things together. So I've got a few now, and just ready to use, because I think Gail Agasolini showed us how she does it. So I've got those ones done, and now I'm going to finish my my other pocket with some labels. Okay. Might use these ones from this one here's from Witchcraft You Do as well. All of these labels are with the whale's tail elements too. Does it? Do you think a flower? What do you think? I don't know what I want to over sort of do it. Quite like that one. Yep, quite like that one. Let's do that one. This paper's getting a bit manky, so I'll use the other side. I'm really grateful for Rachel of Roxy's Creations for doing this, because I don't know how to make lots of ephemera, different kinds of ephemeras and pockets and things like that. So this has been really, really helpful, and quite enjoyed doing it actually. It's just to add to my stash, and so it would be good to sort of march in front of the TV, get some to mass make, and get some ready to go, and then just decorate them as I need them. So there's my week 4 one, the flop one, and I will put the hopefully I can put the links to Rachel's videos that she showed you how to do this, because she shows to check her out, or just check her channel out anyway, because she's got some really great ideas. And thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye bye.